Hello, welcome to part two. I see all of you made it. This is fantastic. We're going to continue with going through each of the presidential candidates and giving my strategy as well as what I think you can expect to see tonight at the debate, the 8th Democratic debate. Let's move on to the next person, the third person, the CIA operative. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Pete Buttigieg. Sorry. Typo. Okay. Sorry. Strategy. So he needs to obtain a stranglehold over the moderate lane. And I think he's just about there. But he needs to make it clear that Joe Biden is just simply not, he's done. That he's not really a real option. And he needs to stick a fork in Joe Biden. So I think that we can expect to see him go after him some. That would be my advice, even more so than Bernie Sanders. I know the media would love to make this about him and Bernie Sanders. We're going to get to this. I guess we're going here now. So let's just go there. What to expect? The Shadow app. Okay. So listen, if these journalists, okay, running this debate tonight, do not ask Pete Buttigieg about the Shadow app and slash or in his connection with that Shadow Company's app and slash or the early declaration of victory, then that tells you all you need to know about these journalists. They're not real journalists. They're television actors pretending to be journalists. These people are some of the least informed people in the country. They're less informed than you and me. This is them. They're literally reading off them. And today in the news, we saw that there was some things that happened in the country of Iraq, and we will now turn it over to, that's these people. So don't, when people try to make you think that these people are better than you, they're not better than you. Okay? They're not. Anyway, and tonight will prove that because I guarantee you they're not going to bring up the app. I would look if they do, good for them. I'll give them credit. I will come up here on the next one and be like, "Yay, they brought it up. Good job. That was actually good journalism. I'm glad they brought up his connections to that app and made him answer for it and for the absolute conflict of interest that was." But anyway, um, between that and also the early declaration of victory. Bruh, we had 0% of results in, and you were like, "Ooh, I won! I won!" Everyone did see, I won, and everyone was like, "What? There's no results." He's like, "I won, though. I won." Okay, you keep telling yourself that. There's a new phrase going around now. It's called booty mandering. Yes. That needs to become a thing. Everybody right now, I don't even care if you don't finish this video. Stop, go to Twitter and hashtag booty mandering. Let's go. Like, this is just, we've got to get this trending. Okay, so we have a problem, Sanders supporters. We have a problem, and we need to address it because it's not going to go away. We're going to have to fight. I would advise you to make plans to be available the week of the convention. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that right now, because I don't think that this is going to work out well. Now, I would love to believe that it will, but they have not given me any reason to believe that they're going to run an above board process. Did you see the Iowa circus? Yes, you did. Okay, so did I. Did that inspire confidence in you? No, exactly. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. This is from the Business Insider. Okay. Now, watch this now. By 8 p.m. Central, this was last night, by 8 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, the results of the Iowa Democratic caucuses with 100% of precincts reporting showed Senator Bernie Sanders and former Mayor Pete Buttigieg neck and neck in the total vote count and statistically tied in the state delegate equivalents. Mm. Mm. let me tell you something else too. As of now, I just checked on Google. Bernie Sanders will be getting 12 delegates to bring to the convention out of Iowa as things stand now. Pete Buttigieg, 13. 13. They did it. They really went and booty mandering did it. It's just unbelievable, folks. And we still got people on social media gaslighting us and trying to convince us that, oh no, it's all just an accident. Wow. If you really do think that this is an accident, you need to check yourself into the hospital and get your head checked. You need to get a CAT scan, like, immediately. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Right. There's something wrong with you. No sane person can look at the fact pattern that we saw, starting with the spiking of that Des Moines Register poll until now, and go, yep, looks like all that stuff could have happened by simple chance. Especially after what we saw last year. I mean, remember Iowa last year? The nonsense that we saw go down then? Hillary Clinton won like 6 out of 6 coin tosses. Oh my God. Like, they could at least try. They could have done like 5 out of 6. Probability doesn't work that way. I mean, Bernie Sanders literally has a curse, a hex on him or something. If you actually believe what these people believe, there's no rational way to believe that in a normal functioning, like, world, that you could believe that much stuff could happen like that in succession and all be just happenstance and not be somebody doing it on purpose. If you believe that, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, if you think that the New Hampshire primary is going to be a fair and above board process, you better wake up. You better wake up. Okay? Okay, cool. Sounds good. This was on Twitter. I believe this was last night. I captured this. This is from Don Winslow. And somebody retweeted it, but this is what this guy Don Winslow said. He doesn't have a check mark, but who cares? It's a CNBC article. He's saying Pete is already in bed with Wall Street because what it says here is CNBC. Pete Buttigieg hires former Goldman Sachs executive as national policy director. National policy director. Former Goldman Sachs executive. Pete Buttigieg for the people. So I have a poll going on right now on Twitter, the Progressive Hoodie. And it says, why did the Iowa caucus become the Iowa circus? Here are your options. A, innocent mistake / I'm dumb. B, incompetence / I'm a moron. No, it literally says that. And you are, if you choose those. C, rigged for rat's pleasure. Or D, booty mandering. Okay, so those are your choices. You tell me what you think happened. I think it was a mix of C and D in the first half of B. If you think that factors in, then sure. But alone, it was just incompetence. All of this was just incompetence that cut against Bernie Sanders every single time. Okay, right. You're smart. Anyway, so there's that poll. Let's move on, because I can't talk about the Pete Buttigieg thing any longer without getting angry. So let's move on to Amy Klobuchar. Well, that was nice. Now let's do Bernie Sanders. So, okay, sorry. Now, we here on the Progressive Hoodie, we try to treat Amy Klobuchar the exact opposite of the way the media treats her. They act like, oh, she's so legitimate, she's so great, she's so wonderful, everybody loves her, everybody thinks she's great, everybody thinks she's awesome, everybody thinks she's the bomb.com, and she's just so wonderful, and oh my gosh, she's just charismatic, and she's exciting, and she makes my heart skip a beat and all that. And it's just like, stop. Like, stop trying to shove her down our throats. She's not interesting, we don't like her, and she's not polling well. You just keep pushing her out. I just don't understand why you're trying to make her be relevant. It's just so pathetic. It really, truly is. Okay, so let's talk about strategy for Amy Klobuchar. So what would my strategy be for Amy Klobuchar? Drop out? You need to drop out. You're crowding the moderate lane. No, I'm not kidding. You need to drop out. If I was her advisor, I'd be like, you need to drop out. I'd be like, oh, hey, she'd go, oh, what do you think we should do? Oh, that's a good question, Amy. Did you deposit that check? Did you deposit my money? Let me see if that cleared. Oh, good. I got my money from the Amy Klobuchar campaign. Great. Thank you, Amy. You need to drop out, right? Okay. I mean, what, you think I'm going to sit here and lie and pretend like she has a chance? Come on. Let's be realistic. I can't even say it with a straight face that she could win. Let me try it. Amy Klobuchar really could win. No. Anyway, moving on. So, what to expect tonight? I'm sure that they'll ask her questions, many questions, many questions, way more questions than she needs to be asked, and she'll get way more speaking time than she deserves, like she has in every debate. She'll be sitting there like, well, I think that we need to not do anything for the American people, and I think we need to continue to be corporatist shills that serve the establishment. And when I was growing up on those farms down in Iowa or wherever I'm from, it was just so wonderful that I was able to be out there with all the corns, and I love the corns, and I love the corporations, so please vote for Amy Klobuchar. And then the moderators will be like, okay, what about you, Joe Biden? What do you think we should do? And he'll be like, restore the soul of the nation. And they'll be like, okay, thank you. Now, anyway, Amy Klobuchar, back to you. Like, no, seriously. That's what, hey, watch and see. Okay, she's going to be talking all throughout this debate like she's a top tier candidate when she's not. She never was. Okay. Oh yeah. Moving on, we're going to talk about Bernie Sanders. Okay. What would my strategy be for Bernie Sanders? Bruh, you got to get aggressive. You have got to get aggressive and bring the fight to them. Okay? Now, number one, you got to go after Biden on the Social Security thing. I already addressed that, so I don't want to get into too much detail there. Number two, he needs to differentiate between himself and Elizabeth Warren. Look, y'all, I know some of you out there may still like Elizabeth Warren more than, well, I don't even can't say I dislike her. I just, I have some issues with her, but I know some of you may think she's a little bit more progressive than I think she is, and that's fine. We can disagree on that. There's something wrong with you. We can just, no, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, it's okay if you do think that, for real though, not joking. But she's in the way at this point. She really is. It just is what it is. I'm not just talking about in the way of Bernie Sanders. I'm not a part of the Bernie Sanders cult, okay? I just want progressive policies implemented, and I want someone who's going to fight for it, okay? Right now, she's crowding up this lane. You cannot tell me that Bernie Sanders wouldn't have done better in Iowa if she had not been there. If you look at the demographics that they both did well with, you can clearly see that most likely he would have gotten a lot of that support from Elizabeth Warren. So, I mean, it just is what it is. She's in the way, and she needs to drop out. Okay. Thirdly, he needs to bring up this rat freak Iowa circus. Okay. I know he's not going to be like, Pete Buttigieg, you fixed it. And I don't even know how you do that, but I really don't. But he's got to do something. Like, this can't stand. Like, this is so terrible. Like I said, I just checked, and he's now down in the national delegates that he would take. So now Pete Buttigieg goes into the debate tonight, not only being able to say that he has won the state delegate equivalents, which, I mean, they're irrelevant. I don't care about the stupid state delegate equivalents. But not only does he get to say that, but he is also, as of right now, taking more delegates to the national convention. People, that is a problem. Okay? That is a stat by which you can say, look, of course I won. I got more national delegates going to represent me into the national. I mean, that is a problem. That is a problem. And especially considering the way that they did it. I wanted to move on from the Iowa circuses for a minute, but we got to bring up a couple of more things about that. Number one, you do realize, right, that the satellite caucuses that disproportionately helped people of color, the same people of color that can't stand Pete Buttigieg's ratty guts, right, those people. You do realize those satellite caucuses came in first, right? And then when they went back and selectively released, oh no, not selectively, I mean released in a really logical way that they clearly explained to everybody and made sense. Yeah, that's it, right. They came in last, right? Raise your hand if you still think this was an accident. Okay, that's first of all. Second of all, remember what I just read you a minute ago? 8 p.m. Central, which would be about 9 Eastern, the results, the 100% Iowa reporting came in 9 p.m. Eastern time. Guess what time Pete Buttigieg's town hall was scheduled for? 9. So guess what they did? They were 100% reporting came in like around 9, and then at 9 o'clock he walks on the stage, and everyone's like balloons and like streamers and the rat circus. I mean, like, and everybody was just like, "Yay! Congratulations! Your booty mandering has paid off. You won the Iowa circuses." And he was just like, yeah, what can I say? I'm amazing. I mean, just in time. They've been holding on to this stuff. Remember, there were. I'm spitting everywhere, y'all. This is so infuriating. There were people that were in the precinct chairs that were going online and saying, I don't know what the heck the holdup is on my information for my precinct, but there's no reason for it because I gave it to the IDP over 24 hours ago. They had the satellite caucus information first, but they didn't release it first because Sanders cleaned house in those. Raise your hand if you're still an idiot. I mean, if you still think this was an accident. Get out of here, man. Come on. Like, I can't even entertain that anymore. You're just a joke. If you honestly think that this was an accident or just incompetence, you're a joke. You're the incompetent one at life. Let's move on. Sanders, what to expect? Biased questions. I mean, just expect it. Just expect them to be like, Bernie Sanders, why did you rape your wife? And then they'll be like, I didn't rape my wife. Wait, Bernie Sanders, I'm sorry. Are you actually saying you did not rape your wife? And he'll be like, no, I did not. I didn't do that. They'll be like, okay, that's great. Elizabeth Warren, why does Bernie Sanders keep raping his wife? I just don't understand. Okay. So just expect it. That way, if it doesn't happen, we'll all be rejoicing and happy. Okay, let's move on. to Andrew Yang. So what strategy would I have for Andrew Yang? Look, dude, you're not going to be president. Like, and I love Andrew Yang. Out of everybody in this field left, he's the one that I have the most affection for. I loved him. I loved Marianne Williamson. Um, I love Tulsi Gabbard, although she has done some things in this cycle that I didn't agree with, and that upset me a little bit too. But overall, I still have some affection for her. But Andrew Yang, I love you. You're great, but you got to be an attack dog for Bernie Sanders. That's what we need tonight. That's what we really need. And he needs to attack the media. If he's going to have any shot, if we're really looking at him having a shot, he's got to attack the media. Because what has happened with him doesn't make any sense. Okay? They have done so much to screw his candidacy over, from ignoring him to putting up somebody else's face on the screen while they're talking about him, to just, over and over again. Like they just haven't taken him very seriously. And so that's been unfortunate, because he is one of the anti-establishment candidates. But I'm sure that's also by coincidence. Anyway, what to expect? You won't see him very much in the debate tonight. You'll probably see him the most when the camera is panning past him to go talk to Amy Klobuchar again. Right. That's when you'll see Andrew Yang tonight. Other than that, don't expect him to be talked to that much. They'll do the same thing they always do, which is try to prevent him from speaking. Okay? All right. That's the most you can expect. Oh, they may accidentally call him some other stereotypical Asian sounding name by accident. Don't put it past them. All right, so let's move on to Tom Steyer. What would my advice to him be? Stop staring. Bruh, seriously, stop it. Let me tell you what we're gonna do in the country if I become president. I agree with Bernie. I agree with Joe. I agree with everybody on stage. I don't even know I'm running, because I already agree with everybody. What? Then drop out. Anyway, stop staring. Now, what can we expect? That ugly picnic tie will be worn again, baby. Every time he wears that, okay, I'm glad we're ending this This is a light note, and I've been really angry throughout this video. Every time that he wears that picnic tie, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I am so hungry. I really just need, oh my gosh, bro, I need a sandwich. I want him to get that tie and put it out so I can eat a sandwich. Anyway, that's that. So, thank you so much. It's Progressive Hoodie signing off, and I will see you tonight.